See right here. Go to YouTube channel.
Have you even messed with your professional dashboard?
No, not really.
Yeah, we're tripping, man.
Yeah, are we?
Yeah. Look at this.
Alright.
Look. Look how many people I've reached in the last 28 days.
Oh.
Almost 28,000 people.
What?
Like people that's just been interacting with people that's been interacting with
What?
28,000 people's been interacting with my page over the last 28 days.
What is this?
Wow.
What is this? Why I got this?
Good, man. I love that thing. I'm going to say some words about that. I don't know that young man. I don't think I've met him.
Who?
Daniel Duke.
Daniel Duke.
He's the one that did that flyer on the three fish, on the invasive fish and the good fish. I sent it to you.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I never met him, I don't think. Royal Carp is the name of the group. Daniel seems to know him or something, and he's one that said Daniel Duke did it.
The Royal
Daniel.
All right. Hey, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and get the show started here. So, try to share this. Can we share this? Man, I'm like messing this all up.
Well, it's just hard for you to do it all.
Yeah. Daniel's like a lifesaver, man.
He's just savage.
Same thing.
Can you share this?
What?
I got a funky tripod here. It's not working very well.
Not sure.
There we go.
Okay, I'm sharing this. Podcast. Luckily, 103. All right. Next. Post. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Carp Anglers! James Sanders here from Team Fish Fighters and Bottom Feeder Baits.
And Thomas Pearson from Bottom Feeder Baits and
What are you trying to say, man?
Team Fish Fighters.
Sorry for a long delay. Daniel's just not here, and sometimes I'm like a deer in the headlight over here. So
and he got smoked.
I got smoked bad.
Did you share that already?
Yeah. So appreciate you guys coming on the show. I think we're like 20 minutes overdue. But we're going to go ahead and start the show. Not going to say anything with Daniel and Kenny, but they're both in Dale Hollow at this moment. And it's just me and Tommy today.
Daniel was definitely the brains behind
he
that
was,
operation.
man. I cannot. Oh my gosh. So, Tommy, welcome back to our show.
Nope.
I'm glad you could. But real quick, a lot of I tell you, a lot of situations is going on onto the Facebook here lately, and I think there's a topic going on right now called invasive species. So we're seeing a lot of news channels right now wording the situation the wrong way on the news. You know, they're showing a photo. They're talking about Asian carp, but they're showing a photo of a common carp. And you know, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Gilbert Huxley to our show. And we're going to talk about more of this topic, but first, after all that, we're going to talk to him about, the stuff. Hey, but real quick, let's get Gilbert on to the show. It's Gilbert. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Gil?
Me.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Did you hear him?
Yeah, I didn't hear him either.
I'm sorry, Gilbert. You kind of broke up there a little bit. Okay. I'm sorry hearing you a little bit.
Okay, how about
Okay.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
perfect.
Yes. How you doing, Gilbert? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for me, guys.
Yep. So go ahead and do a testing for us real quick, Gilbert.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, there you go. That sounds good to me. Gilbert, I mean, here in Indiana and a lot through the United States, everybody does know you. We call you the Godfather of Carpers. You got a great history of anglers know you well. You're sponsored by World Classic Bait. Here in Indiana, you kind of started out the whole Hoosier Carper Club. You and some other anglers that started out, we got together. But for some anglers that's kind of new, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and how long you've been carp fishing, and let's just hear about your story a little bit.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I've been fishing for carp for over 45 years only. I mean, only for carp.
Yeah.
I'm 76 now, so that tells you I started late in the year fishing for carp, but still got all those years in there. Now, I started back when people didn't think carp fishing was cool like it is nowadays, a little bit. And I'd be fishing at the canal in Broad Ripple, and I carp when I was fishing for bluegill at Indiana Beach.
Oh, wow.
And I hit a little bitty worm, a big 9-pounder hit, and I thought I had a monster bluegill or monster bass or something. And when I pulled that carp up, I figured, gosh, I'm a catch and release. I never catch fish. I want to eat fish. I go to Kroger, and so I never clean fish or take care of fish, so I just always released them. So I said, why would I want to fish for anything else other than this carp? Because of the power that little 9-pounder gave me. And I just, it was a remarkable feeling. And I never looked back again after that. And so I started wild carping for a little bit. Then I found the pay lakes.
Yeah.
And I was a pay laker for about 11, 12 years. Won a lot of money. Yeah, there you go, Tommy. I see you. He still got it in his blood.
Yeah, I'm always going to have it in my blood.
You're phenomenal. You're a well-known pay laker. Anyway, I did it for about a wagon wheel. I could always clean clock it. If I went in during the middle of the day, people saw my name on the list, they wouldn't get the pools. It got that bad. So the owners would even say, Gilbert, wait till the end of the pool period where you can sign in before you sign in. So that way we'll have some people in the pool.
Right.
So we did that for a while, but then pretty soon it got really pathetic about it. So I changed. I went to 1111 for a while.
Okay.
And the same thing happened there. Then I went to Lean Wall, and then that's where I really did well in money wise. And they called them pools back then, not jugs.
Yeah.
And so once I got I was asked to not use a certain bait. I couldn't use my own bait no more at Lean Wall. It had some grains in it, and it was a rule about grains being used at the time.
Yeah.
So I said, that's what makes me an angler is the different baits. A good angler is always changing, finding something better. Tommy, look at all the times you changed your baits over the years.
Yep.
It's because you're always looking and seeking to find that special bait.
That and times change.
And when they say, yeah, you do. When they said I couldn't use something, I said, well, that's it. I jumped out of the pay lakes and never went back.
Hey, Gilbert,
And that's it.
real quick, what is that secret bait that you said you used at the pay lakes that they wouldn't let you use?
He's trying to write it down.
Go ahead.
He wants to, new bottom feeder baits coming out.
Oh, yeah, I'm instant with potatoes.
They don't know nothing about that potato flake ball, Gil.
Oh, the potato flakes.
And you made it right beside me before I was in the world classic baits.
Yeah.
And it'd been a big honor when they asked me to come to them. Of course, I had to quit making my bait
Right.
and use those. I'm telling you what, it's been history ever since. They bought the 40s, and I've gotten 37 over 30 pounds now in my fishing history. And then the 41.2 I got. And you were there on that one, James.
Was.
I yes, he was.
I bet he was trying to pay you $10 to take a picture with it.
Baby, I cried like a baby because I wanted that 45 so bad.
You did.
I did, but it's been a big joy. Then the other Gilbert Huxley has been the drive I had to get the word out. I did 17 years of boat shows.
Right.
11 of them was up on stage doing shows so I could have the booth for free.
Yep.
So, I did that a long time. In Indiana at the time had 190 members in CAG.
Yeah, I know.
The largest skinny bass club in Indiana.
Wow.
It was the biggest organized club in Indiana at the time. Now, it's still by about 60 or 70 now, still to this day.
Yeah, we don't talk about trash fish.
Because it changed, or they just stuck around and stayed and been Hoosier Carpers, about 60 of that already in CAG. So that's not too bad over the years.
No.
And so that's where my passion was. And then I'm going to tell you what, this young fellow, Daniel Duke, has got my fire up in me with that little publication he did. He set it all on that one piece of paper right there.
Well,
I want this scare here. Let me get into this real quick. It's been bugging me. This scare with the Channel 8 News.
Yeah.
Where they didn't sponsor it, but they were part of the research. Anyway, that is exactly what's happened is that they're targeting certain species, which we know what they are, but the common people don't.
Right.
And automatically, the common carp, the koi, and the mirror are all included. Well, I just been off the phone for 2 days with the DNR, talking to Mr. Hudson, and he told me that was a mistake in the photographical because they could not get a good picture to try to get the picture across. They apologized for it, but that's not the fish they were targeting.
Really?
And they said, only the three that they're fishing, they're really targeting is the big head, the silver, and the grass carp, the wild grass carp.
Now we should be having everybody get in there in the comments right now and be tagging Fox 59 and Channel 6 and everything in the comments right now.
Well, actually, the Fox 59.
No, they got it right.
They got it right. It was the here in Indiana. Of course, it was what do you put?
Channel
6, Channel 8, and
they all put the common carp.
Yeah, they're the ones messing it all up, and it was like
they're saying a name and putting a different
with the
picture of a
common
species
carp
with the wrong name.
But yeah, the Fox 59 is the only one that did it the right way. I'm glad you did that, Gilbert.
Yeah, one of the things too is that when we see this little flyer they put out over the internet with that common someone's been talking about their targeting invasive species.
Right.
We need to back it up with that flyer that Daniel Duke did, right? Posted right with it.
Let me tell you something about Daniel Duke a little bit. He's a special breed. He's a younger carpster that just came out probably about maybe a year or two. He has a YouTube channel called the Royal Angler. We had him on our show maybe 3 months ago or 2 months ago. He's a young gun, definitely a young gun that's got a lot of potential. But he's doing a lot of great things. If you've seen that one, he did like a little screenshot, made a whole little banner for the Carp Expo. For us, and I mean the boy's talented, he really is. But I'm sorry,
his heart's in the right place.
Yeah, his heart's definitely in the right place. Yeah, keep an eye on Daniel Duke, the Royal Angler.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Gil,
the
finish
rule
what you're saying.
I never heard of it before until
Yeah.
this happened. So I'm really excited about, Brad is Tim and other ones that's getting the word out. And
Yeah.
I was thinking that, he is a good replacement for everything I've been doing
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
Now we got Mr. So we got two people trying to get the word out that really are good at it. I mean, that flyer was excellent. And he
Right.
put that together himself.
Yeah, he did.
And
yeah.
then you got Brandon Kemp. Brandon Kemp's a different breed, and he is 100% of carp fishing in the USA, and that is so good news. It's such a good thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good too.
Really, he can bow out. I mean, the old grandfather, the old godfather can bow out at this older age and
No,
enjoy
no. You ain't bowing out nothing. You ain't bowing out nothing. Hey, we need at least one more. Hey, we need at least one more video out of it. We need a pay laker going
Oh,
wild too.
I just got a mate boat that's gonna make my fishing even better here. I mean, I bought a West Coast base coach, and it's a monster. And all the casting it takes to come, and all the casting it takes to to throw your bait out 100 yards. I don't have to worry about that no more. I got a boat to do it. So that's gonna extend my fishing career. So watch out for me because I'm going to Del Hollow in the spring. I'm going to the Wooden Shoe Tournament up in Michigan.
Nice.
I got things planned. Things are really going great with WBC World Classic Bait. That they're coming out with some new baits you guys got to check out. It's different. It's so different. It's going to swipe the market. I can't say anything about it. I don't know that much about it yet.
Hey, Gilbert, sorry, real quick. We're having your mic is kind of breaking up a lot. Is there something maybe you could do something? Your microphone's breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up a lot.
Sorry, on Tommy was breaking up. I don't know what else to do. I got a full charge. Maybe I'm too loud.
No, you're not.
Is it too loud?
No, you can't never be loud enough, Gil.
No, you're fine, then. I mean, it was just breaking up here and there, but I think you're fine now.
I'm going to say possible blowers. Maybe the computer can't keep up with the old man,
But
anyway,
real quick, I got a question for you, and
yes.
I know you've been around the block dozens of times. You've done seminars for Indiana Boat Sport Travel Shows. I had a privilege watching you on stage before. I always enjoy it. I got a lot. Even matter of fact, I think I even got some old videos of you on stage. But how, with the whole DNR situation, how can you think we can? What steps can we do to, in your opinion, to maybe protect some lakes here in Indiana, like trophy lakes, like Lake Lemon? How would you say? From bow anglers messing with that lake or something like that. What steps would you say? Should we contact DNR first, or communicate with DNR? What do you think?
Communicate to the DNR is very, very important.
Okay.
Very important. So if you go to them and say you got some public parks, you got some trophy park in them. Yeah. And there's people standing around the edge of the waters and walking down the path. That's where the safety comes in on the bow fishermen shooting at angles they do. And there's been cases called and called the police, and people got hurt with ricochets off the water.
Right.
Neil Stern got bow fishing barred off of that river down there in Texas.
Yeah.
And Ladybird back then, it was called Ladybird. It's called something else now. Yeah. But Ladybird, where they had the team championships, he got barred there because someone got hurt. And that's with the trail going along the river there, they barred it completely. Now, when there's safety involved, you got that on your side.
Right. Okay.
But you got to, that safety is the biggest thing because they're shooting at angles that can cause a ricochet very easily. Very easily. We shoot 30 degrees from 45 degrees. You can get a ricochet easy.
So, what do you think would be the best route to really even go, just to try to ban bow fishing all in general?
That's
I-
not never going to happen.
I don't think so
Tommy,
either.
because
There's too much money
it's
involved in that. You
it's a
got,
big sort out.
I mean,
We got to put some controls on the wanton waste, though.
right.
You know, I saw that one video, a dozen of us 50-gallon waste baskets filled with common carp after a tournament that the boat fishermen had at some lake.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that is so bad. How can anyone? Yeah, this blows my mind. You know, one time I got in trouble because I told a boat fisherman at the show that, you know what I'm going to say on this game?
Yeah, I know
He
what you're gonna
said, yeah, I apologize to you. He goes, what for? I said, because I'm not going to see you in heaven. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you can't be going to heaven if you're killing these fish for fun. That's one of God's creatures, and you kill them for fun. Now, if you had a place to take them, and I got in trouble for that with tag, but anyway, that gentleman looked at me and goes, you know, instead of getting mad, he said, you're right. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll pay for $1,000 tournament for a tournament session shooting the smallest fish. Smallest, not the biggest. You know, I cannot get one taker. Over $1,000, no one wanted to go to a tournament to shoot small fish. So that tells you right there, they got to kill big fish.
Yeah, because they can't. Their shooting skills are not up to par to hit a small fish.
Well, if they only knew that the smaller fish would really boom the big populations for us, that make it even worse, you know, but you know, a lot of the boat fishermen are courteous when we got a bank claimed, but a lot of them don't. They come right up on us and shoot the fish right out of our swims, and I'll tell you what, they'll get a boat full of boilies when I start shooting boilies at them, you know, and they'll get a boat full of boilies in their boat.
You know, I watched this one video. Matter of fact, it was just a couple of days ago. It showed a couple of bow anglers. I don't even want to call them anglers. Both fishermen or whatever. You know, people basically shoot carp, whatever. He was shooting. It was thin ice. He was standing on top of thin ice, and he shot a boat. You know, fishing angler boat into the lake through the ice, and he got one of the carp. It's craziest thing, and I'm thinking to myself, how dangerous that is. You know, shooting through the ice with an arrow.
Yeah, what if it ricochets?
Yeah, what if it could ricochet and get you back in the leg or something like that? But it was just so crazy, just seeing that. But yeah, he shot that carp, and then it got off, and then he reshot it again. Yeah,
You can say that's talent.
yeah,
All of the brain gone.
yeah.
You know, I couldn't shoot nothing like that myself ever. I mean, I can't shoot a duck, you know, or go on anything else.
Okay.
But it's really funny how people look at the carp and being a waste fish, and they're not that way no more. Now, muskie was in the rough fish category at one time, and now look at them now. Yeah. They're in the game fish. So they got changed over from rough fish, same place where carp are. Right. They got changed over to the game fish. Someday, some way, young people like you and younger will get it changed to the point that it will become a sport fish in the United States. Maybe limited to size with maybe you know, some kind of a bracket that you can't kill when they get to a bracket. That'd be the first step. I would love to do that. Get your foot in the door, you know, get a bracket going. You can't kill them if they're so big for trophy fish. That's the target. That's the area you need to go to DNR with. Is that we're not here trying to control your bait or do anything you got to do to control these fish, but we prefer that you have a bracket that they can't kill because of the trophy size and the number of anglers there are all over the United States now. Right. Not only just the Trailagers, but a whole bunch of people and big dollars involved in this sport.
Why do you think common carp gets such a bad name? Is it just because, you know, the lack of knowledge or the lack of people not putting the knowledge out there about the common carp? Like, people are always saying that they're bad for the water. They're bad for the ecosystem.
No, bad for the water was an aftermath after they couldn't prove anything else. You know, that's a bunch of baloney because catfish bluegills, crawfish, they all make muddy water when they spawn. They all do. Small, it might be small, but because we got bigger fish, they make bigger messes. Anyway, here's where it starts out, is the common carp was brought here to feed the United States after the Civil War.
Right.
And of course, they're not the best fish to eat. There's a lot of preparing that meat before you can eat it and stuff like that. But it did the job for the American people. When freeze drying was invented, they no longer needed the carp, so automatically people say, "Hey, who wants a carp when we got this wonderful, tilapia and cod and halibut and all this fish they can eat now?" So that switched American people saying, "Thank you for the food you gave us, but now we don't want you."
Yeah.
And they have a bad rep on these carp, saying they're tearing up the bottoms, they're mud. They're the only fish in the Bible, too. They're the only mentioned as a filter feeder. And the carp is known to be the filter feeder. The only fish in the Bible mentioned is the carp.
Huh.
So not only that far back, but even today, they're known to clean the waters if they're left alone.
Right.
It's when you start doing stock treatments on them, and you try to thin them out, and when you double the numbers, like Lake Erie, not Lake Erie, Libra Lake. They did a stock treatment back in the 60s, and they stocked all the big ones. Well, what happened was all the teenagers, we can farm now. So they had double the amount of fish spawning because the bigger ones were gone.
Right.
And
Wow.
so it doubled populations of 4 and 5 pounds. That's why Lake, that lake is no longer. Well, it's starting to get a little bigger now. You're getting some 20s out there.
Yeah.
A cataract. But at the same time, it was plagued with these small fish. I can remember catching 20, 30 pounders back when I was camping there with raising my family. But you can't do that now because of stock and gut. It didn't work, so they no longer do it. Now, there's another program out that, I've talked about this before, the BioBullet.
Right.
The BioBullet that the DNR makes that gets into the digestive system of the silver carp and makes them sterile.
Yeah.
So, in a period of time, the species would be wiped out by their own non-able to produce. But in the laboratory, it was ideal. But in the field of the lake, it killed the sauger. It killed the sauger, and it also made a couple other bottom feeders, different fish. I forget what they were, but
Right.
it made them sterile too. So indeed, there was some more fine tuning to that BioBullet. I was told today that was been put on the back burner, and now they're working on the electric fences, increasing the electric and a different type of electricity to go through that water to hold those fish back getting into Lake Michigan and everything else. The big silver carp and big head carp and everything.
Right.
They have put electric fences up, and they got a different kind of electricity they're putting through that because they found a lot of DNA in Lake Michigan. That only means that the water was bringing in DNA. The fish wasn't there, but the DNA of the fish is in the water.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that means they're also that fence. And what they're fearing that they're going to get big numbers and just bull rush it. So they put up a different kind of a fence. If they bull rush it, they're going to kill themselves.
Oh wow.
And that's the only way they're going to be able to control them.
Really?
Is
Wow.
put that right in their spot. But that means that Tippecanoe River is going to be condemned.
Really?
So is the other one there, also Terre Haute, that one too.
Yeah.
It's going to be condemned. Yes, that's going to be condemned to the big silver and everything else. It's already bad.
Right.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
To watch the
long
boats
time
go
ago.
down and see the...
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's getting worse now.
Yeah.
You can't catch a catfish, a bluegill, or crappie in any of those waters anywhere.
Wow. No, it's
They'll hold 'em.
been a little bit, but yeah. But I heard Asian carpers. Well, I don't even call them carp. Asians. Asians. They're good eating. I heard they're really good eating.
No morning trying to get the name changes to a Kobe.
Yeah.
The name be a Kobe fish instead of a carp or anything. Get the carp name off of them
Now,
because
see,
they
that was
are very.
that's my next question: is how can we here in the United States get those names changed? I mean, okay, why can't they just keep the common carp and the mirror and the koi, all the true carp? Why do they gotta have to add all these other names to the grass carp or the Asian carp or all? I mean, what's the point in doing that?
The scale patterns.
I'm sorry.
The scale patterns on the face.
Yeah.
They're called a carp because they're similar to the common carp.
Oh, the scale
That's the reason why they got the scale patterns. Now, the thing is that you don't want to rename all those fish. They already got a name called Carbocastrius. They're the 4 carp that we fish for.
Right.
The common, the mirror, and the leather.
Well, those are fine, but that's the problem. Is I feel like in America is when they think carp, and we're talking, they're all automatically thinking of the bad carp. They're putting the name Asian carp with the common carp. You know what I mean? They all automatically. I mean, you just Google it.
You wouldn't believe the number of people that sent me that brochure, that one that Channel 8 put out.
Yeah.
I bet you I got 30 of them in the emails and stuff and through Facebook.
Oh, I got tagged so many times too on that.
And then when I got Daniels, I started blasting that thing. Mm-hmm. Daniels, I started blasting that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad carpet, and part of the ecosystem has been here since the Civil War.
Yeah.
The common and everything. They're part of our ecosystem. If people don't know that, you take those out and the ecosystem is going to collapse. It's going to be a big turnover on every lake and river in this country. They try to take it all out. Yeah, they can't do it.
There was cleaning our waterways too.
Yeah.
Oh yes. They're very beautiful when they're controlled. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a carp hugger, which I am, but I'll claim I'm not. But the carp need to be controlled to some sort because they can't overtake waterways. They're just as bad as any other fish. If you got one dominant like a catfish, look at Creek. The plagues is catfish because they dominant. You get all these little 6-pound channels there that got no bellies, no nothing. Same thing with carp. It's because that there's just so many of them. That's the thing with carp. They'll just take over and be small and never get big, ever.
So is that basically why DNRs does that kind of stuff? Hey, we're going to have a shooting spree on some certain lake or whatever, or find a way to call an invasive species. But a bass is an invasive species too.
What's that?
Not when it's $1 billion industry. It's not.
I know a bass it's an invasive species too, but they're considered as a sport fish too, right?
Yeah, there's only a few natural fish to the United States. Most of them are brought everywhere else. Brought to us. There's only a few natural, there's a certain word for that, but that belong to live here and everything else. Okay. And I don't know which one. The bass is one of the ones. The sturgeon. We brought the sturgeon over. That was a carp. Fish we brought over to clean up Lake Michigan and everything. So all those big game fish most of them nowadays was brought here to clean the waters. Now they're game fish. So let's make carp. Carp is good to clean the water. Let's make them a game fish.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the only way we're going to do that is from right now. When I started this, there was just a few people I get laughs and stuff like that. But now it's such a serious thing. You're getting more and more every year. People are paying more attention to what's going on in the carp communities that they're starting to get interested. They want to know the difference.
Right.
And I wouldn't believe the response I got. And said, that's good. That little flyer from Mr. Duke. I get a response after they call that what I sent me. I send that back to them. They go, that makes sense. The common and everything. And then you got the 3 they're wanting to target. Why don't they say that? Well, I said, because the DNR thinks if we can get rid of the shoe carp in the way, in the hands of trying to get rid of these other carp, it's fine with them because they got to control those too, in a way.
Yeah.
Especially if there's big numbers in that lake.
That's what I was telling James earlier when I seen the article about them about to put regulations on where you can actually, whether you're seining for them, running nets for them for the Asian or for the Asians, I'm gonna say. But like I was telling James, when they run them nets and everything, like they're not gonna say, "Oh, look, that's a 20-pound common or that's a 30-pound common. Let's put that back." It's going in the boat with the rest of the Asians. Like they're not gonna, they're not gonna. If they make that a law, whatever, to where you can run nets and stuff like that, they're still gonna destroy all the carp, just because, I said, lack of knowledge.
Private lakes right now are on a big scramble to alleviate the carp from their lakes. The Crystal Lake, there's one up north here that is putting in these people coming in on boats and shotting and taking them out in the hundreds and getting rid of all the carp in their lake. And now they're seeing these big black splotches coming off the bottom of the lake. The lake's turning over without them. So they got to go through 10 years of that lake rebuilding itself now because they took the carp out.
Oh, wow.
10 years they got to wait. So that's what happens when you take an ecosystem out of the water that's been programmed to happen for 150 years. You take it out, you got some bad problems. And there's one perfect example.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, there has to be a way, though, that they can actually just target the Asian carp. I mean, I'm sure that maybe they figured it out, maybe they haven't, to where obviously, common carp are not going to be jumping out of the water, 50 of them at a time, because if you run up on a common carp, they're gone they're going down. They're not going up. They're trying to get away from you, just like the Asians are, but the Asians are jumping out of the water, though.
Yeah, they're jumping out, they're startled and everything else. But, the thing about the Asian carp is that if they get this biobullet perfected, it's on the back burner now, but that means it's going to be brought back because that is the answer to the long-term problem. Okay. And, if you've got that working, 10 to 15 years, there's not going to be half as many Asian carp in the water as they are now. And in another 30 years, they'll be gone.
Wow.
They do live pretty old. Man. And if they're sterile, they're going to be big and they're going to die off. And that species will be eradicated from our waters. But it's going to take a long time to do it because they're in here very, very strong.
Yeah. So, what do you recommend steps for other anglers or that wants to proceed to make a common carp a sport fish? What steps do you think that anglers need to do, or us anglers to do?
All anglers
need to do to get together and start. Talk to DNRs, protest, throw some signs in front of the governments. All this stuff. What steps do you think?
Well, here's a good idea. Let me get a swig of Pepsi here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's a perfect example of what you can do. DNR, DNR, I don't know if I'm even in the picture anymore, am I?
Yeah, you're good. We got you, Gil.
Anyway, the DNR right now has got a program out that when you get a monster-sized carp, you can take a picture of it and get the pick of the year, which I got one year.
Right.
And it would got plaques and big certificates signed by the head guy saying about the carp and the pick of the year, blah, blah, blah. Now, if people would join that and start sending pictures into the DNR and tell them how much of a great sport fish they are, just a picture, and try to get into the pick of the year contest, it will flood them and see that there's a lot of people want to fish for this common carp. That's one avenue you can do to get their attention is through the pick of the year program that the DNR have. It's a lot of fun. It was easy. Go ahead, Tommy.
Could you give James that information so maybe we can make a post and we can maybe say, hey, here, enter this competition, send them pictures of your PBs, and that's going to show, it's going to show fish care, it's going to show everything.
They want to wear how much, the girth, and the length, and the weight if you got it, and then time of day, anything, any info you can, they'll want that.
So, do you have to tell them the lake? The lake?
You got to tell everything. Everything.
Okay, well, see, that's the part that might be kind of scary.
Because people don't want bow fishermen to find out where these fish are.
You know, like I say to that, they want to save their fish. They better come back and start giving out some information about their lakes. I mean, yeah, I know that feeling, but I share everything I've ever done. Anywhere I went, I shared it. So anybody that wants to be selfish enough and not share a swim, then we don't really need them in our community. Really, in my opinion, that's just my opinion now.
Right.
I mean, they're carpers, but they're only one-sided. They're only looking at one thing, and that's themselves.
Right.
And they're not thinking about the future of the carp.
No.
Because if they wanted to do the right thing, they would definitely take pictures, disclose the link, disclose all the information, and get that into the DNR so they would be part of the system and may work.
I think that'd be a good step is for all us carp fishermen, whether it's wild water or pay lake or, flood DNR with all our personal best and how much, it's going to show what we care about these fish.
I mean, they also have a Facebook. DNR Facebook.
There's that ground structure. I was a pay laker for many years, and that's where I got all my structure to. And the love for carp comes from the pay lake.
Right.
So I know pay lake has got the same passion and love for carp as we do. They just like the money too.
And
who doesn't like money?
Right. And to tell you the truth, you could also just take you put your photos on the DNR Facebook page if you wanted to. Black.
Yes, exactly. The thing is, they got a program for the fiscal year, and if you send in pictures, try to get into that. I've won it with a 25-pounder out of the canal.
Right.
That would have been years and years ago. So, there's been 30 caught out of the canal now.
Wow.
So 130 out there would be great to send in fish for a year, but no one did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin Keaton just made a comment on our YouTube. He said we've been doing steps for years. He said the real question is how do we get others to listen? ? How do we get they won't let me roll up. How do we get that out in a peaceful manner? The process has been in place for years, just moving slow.
But when you're fishing and you catch one online and you're fighting it, and there's a guy standing there thinking, "What you got?" It's a monster carp. He says, "Really? I've never fished carp." Hand him the rod. Yeah. I guarantee you will hook that man or that lady or that kid, and they'll never fish for another fish. If they're a fisherman within the body, it is. Right. He's going to be hooked. Now, that's one idea. Hand him the rod. The other one is explaining to him about the power of that carp. That's how I always told whenever I talk, "Why do you think the carp?" I said, "Have you ever caught one?" No. Well, if you ever felt the power, and I always put really emphasis on that word power. Right. Then they would say, "Really?" Say yes. And then when you hook one and you hand it to them, they're stowed. They're stowed. I mean, I've turned over so many catfishmen over the carp, bluegills. You wouldn't believe how many people I've turned over there.
I tell you one thing. When me and Kenny Mack and Dan the Irish, we went to Massachusetts species. Well, just a fishing convention up in Massachusetts, and we was trying to sell some of that bottom feeder bait stuff over there. I tell you, we had so many, and it's basically a big anglers, just bass anglers all in this building.
All species except for carp, except for you guys.
Yeah, and so we just had a little bit of a carp row, maybe about 4 or 5 booths, and bass anglers were so intrigued. They wanted to know what was going on, so they said, and then we asked that simple question. So, hey, have you ever caught a carp? He goes, yeah, I caught one time, and it was a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? They loved it. But but I'm not interested. But you want to know something? My young son's interested in it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there's so many anglers that said, "Yeah, I caught one. Great fish, love it." I haven't done it in a long time, but they're great fighters. And you even did a demonstration. You was up there on stage one time, and I remember you saying it at the Indiana Boat Sport Travel Show, and you said, "Did you guys know that a common carp will fight harder than a bass?" You know.
Pound to pound, yes.
Yeah.
Pound to pound.
Yeah.
5 pound carp and a 5 pound bass, the carp will tear it up and fight in the
Exactly.
fight.
And so it's like,
They get asking, carp don't.
right. But I feel like it is catching. The word is getting out here in the United States that the common carp is here. Everybody's seeing it. I slowly. I mean, 20 years ago or 15 years ago, nobody knew exactly what
Especially not none
carp
of the UK
fishing was all
guys.
about. You know what I
The
mean?
UK
It's-
and overseas and stuff. They wasn't worried. They wasn't wanting to come over here and fish.
And now it's just catching so everybody's intrigued about it. Everybody wants to. They see this huge carp. You know what I mean? It's not a little small fish. It's a big trophy fish. You know what I mean? But they said, "Man, I would love to just get a picture taken with that." You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, I'll tell you what, getting the word out, and even a little bit at my age now, I still like doing it from time to time. The young guns are what we're going to look for to keep that word rolling.
right.
And, and talking about it on the banks, it's how I did it over the years. And it's just grown and grown and grown just by being positive and answer every question. Jump up when someone asks you. Don't ignore someone with a question. Jump up and be that seminar guy that stands up and do your demo right there on the bank. They call me the demo man on the bank. So someone asks me questions, I do a whole demo for them,
Yeah.
So that's part of my passion, though.
Got a couple questions for you.
Yes.
On the YouTube. And both of them are from Paul Metz. Shout out to our teammate. He said, I got a question for Gil. He said, what's his favorite flavor for spring? And the other one is, does he use corn, like real corn?
Well, I tell you what, I boil corn, of course, and I like to get the field corn before it goes to the silos. If you know what I mean by that.
Oh, really?
And I'm not gonna incriminate myself at all.
Cat's out the bag.
Really? All right.
Write that one down,
Yeah,
everybody.
Write that one down. Get that corn before it goes to the silos. Okay. So when you put water, it blows up double size, puts down the middle, and exposes the meat. That is, you flavor that. That is one hell of a bait at Del Hollow. One hell of a bait. Now, my favorite flavor at all right now, it's changed. It's carp candy, WCB carp candy. But pineapple and tiger nut and cherry are my backup.
Nice.
All that's all I ever use is those flavors. But that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there.
Nice.
Hey, we're not going to talk about cherry.
Cherry, I caught so many things from cherry boilies.
Look at you, Tom. You put a
And you
little
know about that.
twinkle in his eye.
Well, because I know. And listen, this is quick little story real quick. We was in Del Hollow, and I would say there was at least 10 anglers out there, and almost none of us, we ran out of cherry flavor. And
I was there.
Huh?
I was there.
You was there. We ran out of cherry flavor, and we was like, man, we need some cherry. Like that's what they're hitting. So we went to the boat dock or whatever, and we ended up getting some Cairo and some cherry Jello, and we made our own. And we were still catching fish on it.
Wow.
And that was just Cairo and cherry Jello.
Yeah, I mean that's so true. That is so true.
What's your What's your favorite place to fish at Dale Hollow?
Tampa is my favorite, but sometimes that's unfixable because it's a river, part of the river, and it carries a lot of timber.
Taylor
And boy, yeah, deposits all that wood right up in your swim. You wake up one morning and you're over your swamp with wood. So that's not a very, you gotta get there a certain time of the year, but Cold Creek, time after time, it's been proven. Now, back in the day, when I was younger, of course, Timber Flats, the islands, has been my favorite, most
Yeah, I love
favorite
the flats.
place. But that costs money. Get out there, costs you at least $500, to spend a week out there. That's the minimum. You need to just do your own. Get a pontoon and go out and stay for a week, come back.
Yeah.
But you can go on a shoestring budget. But to do it right, you got to spend the money to do it. To do a week out there.
Yeah.
We did it. We did it for what? 5 days.
Yep.
How many did we do it, Todd?
It was
Huh?
it was 5 nights, 6 days. I believe 5 nights, 6 days,
Yeah.
and then we came back for a week, and then we went back out for another week.
Yeah, that's right. I did 4 weeks in a row. I did 4 boats that. Now, James, how long were you there with us?
Same. It was about a week. I only did a week.
Yeah, it was like 5 nights, 6 days.
The only reason
We
why
left on the
Tommy
6th day.
did the second week because he didn't catch nothing in the first week.
Nobody caught nothing. What do you
I
mean?
caught something.
Not the first
Stop.
week.
Yes, I stop.
You wasn't
Stop.
there. You wasn't there. Tell him, Gil, he wasn't there. The only
I was there in spirit.
Listen, the only 2 people that caught fish that first
I
week
know
when
what
we
you're
was
talking
there was, and listen, it happened on the same day, which was the day that we was leaving, was Nick Swayze
Okay.
and Gilbert Huxley. You should have seen Gilbert Huxley out there in his onesie. he was still in bed, and Nick went out there. Nick had a run, and somehow the fish broke off, and then
that was a short week.
yeah. So he ended up hitting the run the next morning.
Yeah.
He thought he heard it going off, and he went over there, and it was, and he caught the same fish that broke his line off because it still had his other rig in his mouth. And then it wasn't even 15 minutes later,
Oh, that's cool.
Gilbert was still on the boat. And like I said, Gilbert hadn't even really got up yet. He was still in his onesie outfit, you know what I'm saying, that he wore to sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
And Gilbert got a run right before we left, as everybody was packing up, and those was the only 2 fish. But I did come back the next week and hit a 34.4 and a 33, and that was a mirror and a collar.
Yeah.
Good job, Tommy.
Now, the trip that James and I and the guys went on, that was 7 days of pure beautiful weather, though. Remember, just
Yeah.
a little bit of wind a few days, but sunshine every single day.
Yeah.
Not one raindrop. Not one.
Are you planning on going to Dale Hollow this year again?
Oh yeah, I'm going. Me and Rick's going. After I got a bracing on my heart, I'm doing on the 6th.
Yeah.
It's getting ready to start these 2, and then I'm going down on the 12th and meeting Rick, and we're going to fish for 4 days. And he's heading out somewhere, and I'm coming home.
Okay. Sweet.
Gilbert can fish anywhere now. He's got a bait boat.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a
That's what he was telling us at the Carp Expo. That's what he was telling me. He was
Yeah.
like, "Man, I just can't cast like I used to.
No.
Can't get out there where I need to." But since the bait boats came out, Gilbert's got life again.
I got life again, yeah, and I built 2 stands. Rick built me 2 stands, dry dock stand and a stand that goes in the water that I can drive the boat right up into the stand.
Nice.
Hey, how young are you, Gilbert?
I'm 76 and be 77 this year.
Whoa, jeez. Really?
Yeah.
You don't look
Yeah,
that
I
old.
love it, man.
And you still getting
I'm
around?
too hard to pass.
You still getting around, man.
Yeah,
That's what's amazing.
Gil's riding on 20s. You didn't know? You ain't seen him at the.
Got medicines I take every day, but yeah, he's doing a great job of keeping me alive. I've had
Good.
a couple heart attacks, and a couple AFib heart attacks. Those are simple ones,
Yeah.
but they can lead to become bad if you don't take care of them. And I feel great. I've got my energy back. I'm going to therapy after I get back for Del Hollow
Sweet.
to build up my, my leg strength and everything. It's 6 weeks, 3 days a week. I'm going to really go at it. I'm going to do the chair Tai Chi.
Nice.
You see that? I'm going to do that sucker, man, because that's what I can sit down and exercise anywhere,
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't stand up very long. I can't walk very far. Standing up 10 minutes is painful on my feet. Walking through the mailbox and back is torture. So it's really like I want to build that back up, and the therapy's supposed to help me. So I'm really looking forward to all this therapy, but it might cut into my fixing, but I think now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Now, quick question for you, Gil.
Yes.
So you've been, obviously we've been talking about it, you've been fishing for carp for a very, very long time. Where do you hope to see carp fishing go within the next 3 to 5 years? As far as, getting a whole DNR, actually, trying to put stipulations on fish to where we can't kill the common carp, or they can't be netted, or can't be transported, or protecting a certain lake.
Well, I tell you what, my goal, and what I'd love to see is to make sure that the people understand what the carp is, and where they came from, and why they're here, and what the difference is. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is to find the sport that's involved with them. If I can find the people that can express themselves and do the things right to get that out, and they're taking pictures, entries, in the different contests and stuff with pictures and stuff, to do that religiously, people are going to see this is a growing sport. They already see it now.
Yeah.
So the main thing I'm looking for right now is acceptance. The carp being even more so than it is now. And I've seen a lot of change since the time I started. So now, thanks to you guys and your club and many other people have done a lot of different things in this sport that's made this happen. So you can only imagine if you keep this going forward, how much better it's going to be in 10 years.
Yeah.
Just in short 10 years, you're going to see a big change in carp fishing in the United States.
Yeah.
There's going to be some changes. I don't know what they might be first. That's going to take some aggressive young angler with some knowledge and some guts to step up and say, hey, we've had enough. It's time for you to start listening to what we're trying to say about this fish.
There you go.
And I think I did a little bit of that, but people laughed at me.
No.
They're not laughing no more.
No.
They got a point of interest. Their eyes are interested. Their ears are perked up. They're listening to what I have to say or what anyone has to say about it.
Right.
So we can find somebody that's got the gift of gab and can get out there and talk, and wonder who replaces me. And that's what I need. I need somebody to replace me. And I think Brendan Kibb and I think this new Duke guy, Daniel Duke, it's two people that probably going to be instrumental in that getting done. So that's my first step, is those two people trying to boost them even more so for what they're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think Daniel. I do think Daniel Duke and Daniel Irish, both are be the pretty.
Man, you got to turn there, buddy.
Daniel
Irish is in my book.
Yeah, Daniel Irish. He's got good talk behind his game.
I like him.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the Carp Expo earlier this year? Yeah. I mean, we had a lot more wild water stuff there and all that stuff. And do you know a lot of DNRs?
I got a few partners that communicate with, and a couple of DNR officers, high-end DNR officers, and they're younger guys, and they're pro carp.
Oh, nice.
Anybody that's not pro carp, I ain't got time for them.
Do you think?
I know, if I talk to a guy on the phone, he says, no.
Yeah.
I like those names.
Right. Do you think that if we get them a booth at the Carp Expo for free, that the DNRs could set up a DNR booth there for, to talk about, carp fishing? Maybe for them to
Oh,
actually.
so that will never happen. There's too many other species out there wanting to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, just
So
get
no, that would.
more
I
different
have
type of
no.
DNRs into like the Carp
Yeah,
Expo.
yeah, the Carp Expo. Oh, now having a DNR booth would be great there.
Yeah,
That would be great, and they would. I can get somebody to do that for you.
right.
I guarantee it.
Because
If they put up a little booth, talk about DNR. Yeah, we can get that done.
yeah, actually get some DNRs over at the Carp Expo, and just
Yeah.
talk. Just let them see more what we see. And somehow for them to open up their eyes. Maybe a non carp angler say, "Hey,
The DNR know though.
yeah, they know."
I mean,
they're checking our official license all the time. They know.
So a couple weeks ago, Daniel Irish they hosted a non-social
Right.
fishing. We went out to Geis Park.
It's a very quick story. That I was telling you about that Fish of the Year contest.
Mhm.
I had got the signed by the big dog of the DNR.
Really?
And that year, I had the booth right across the aisle from the DNR. The cart booth was right across the aisle from the DNR. And I walked over there when it was a bunch of the DNR officers, young and old.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to show you something. And they looked at that and passed that around. Their all their mouths dropped. And they looked at me and says, "Is this mouse big?" I said, "No, that's the man. That's your boss." And they all looked around and they said, "My God, the park got Fish of the Year?" And they were all astounded and everything. They passed around, they all wanted to see it. And they wanted to verify that picture. That picture was the man's name on it, And I still have it on the wall, matter of fact. So the fact is that right there really went in handy. And if you could ever walk in and get another picture of Weir and walk into that booth there, they would be astonished. And they were then astonished, but they perked up a lot of ears then.
Yeah.
They were thinking, wow.
Wow.
A carp one?
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I was so proud of to get.
So.
I got a. Are you?
No, good.
I got a good question for you, Gil. I'm not going to say it's going to start no controversy, but you have both. You've been you started out one, and now you're finishing in another. You came from the Pay Lake background, just like a lot of us did, because that's all we knew, and now you're a wild carper. What do you think that we can do? Because there's a lot of bashing of the Pay Lakes and and between wild water guys and Pay Lakes. What can we do, in your opinion, because you started out doing Pay Lake and obviously where you're at now, what can we do? And I guess I wouldn't say bridging the gap, but how can we get the Pay Lakers and the wild water guys to kind of come together to focus more on, I guess I would say, bow fishing and doing what we're trying to do now, like get stuff further along than what it needs to be. Because if we there's so many anglers in both sections, like if we
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of wild carpers in those Pay Lakers too.
Yeah.
I mean, they got wild water hearts too, and a lot of them don't. But that's not the point. Now James knows about this. He's always had that, with a 6 fire, 6 Pay Lakers and 6 wild carpers, and that's hard to maintain that balance.
Right.
And he had a battle on his hand there a few times with a couple of them. So, the thing is, they're going to battle now. The problem is techniques are different.
Yeah.
We got to respect each other's techniques. That's the main thing, which I do 100%. I cannot do a Pay Lake rig, and I don't think I could ever be as good as a Pay Laker because of those rigs they do and the bait.
Right.
They got to have the same to accept. It's a little easier to come to the wall and catch carp than it is to go to the Pay Lake and not know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because those fish there are well trained. They've been hooked so many times that only the best baits and what they want is what they're going to take. Anything different, they're not going to touch. So in a wild, those carp are virgins. They'll grab anything they can get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to catch, in my opinion, in the wild to catch if you find them. And that's the whole thing about wild carbon is finding them. Where at the pay lake, they're right in front of you. You just got to find what they want.
Exactly.
So there's a difference there. There's a difference there. And that's where we got to communicate the difference to be the same as far as our passion for carp fishing.
I can see that.
It should be equal in every way there is. And I feel like I tried to do that because I respect pay lakers. I would never put down a pay laker for the money or anything else. That's their thing. You know, that's what they drives them, and that's what that's all about. And they got the passion too. They go wild carping.
Yep.
You know, a lot of them do, and they're good. Look
There's,
at Jerry Pittman.
Yeah, Jerry Pittman.
Look at Jerry Pittman, perfect example, man. Top pay laker and top wild water man. You know, he's really something. So there's a lot of them like that. So that's where I feel like is respect. It's going to be what's going to happen.
We had a lot of teammates from Team Fish Fires that actually was diehard pay lakers, and they basically converted to a wild carper. You know, being a wild carper. You know,
Sure.
But
you know, and there's people that never make it to like Marshall Burba.
yeah,
Never went to the pay lake. Straight to wild water. There's a lot of people like that nowadays too, because they see the gear. Yeah, yeah.
They was never
So, you know.
They was just never showed, like myself and probably you too. You know, you was introduced to the pay lake. I didn't know I didn't know anything about, you know, 30 or 40 pound commons, you know, in the waterways or anything like that. You know, I was showed, you know, hey, let's go to a pay lake, pay $12 a fish, put $1 in the jug, you know, maybe win some money. You know, I was showed that for years. And in some states, you know, like North Carolina, South Carolina, it's a really, really a way of life down there, and people don't understand that.
It really is. It's very competitive, too. I mean, it can be cutthroat competitive. Now, the thing about this is, when I was a carper and when I first started, I just laughed at so much, and people, and it'll treat them alone and everything. So when I found the pay, they just said, wow. I love to do carp fishing. So that's why I went to the pay lake. And I did it for 11 years, or 12 years, something like that. And I loved it the whole time because everybody loved it like I did, where I was all by myself on the wild. So that's where that comes from, you know, the passion piece too.
gotcha. Man, wow.
I'm gonna say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Justin Keaton made a comment. He said, "We are all the same thing, carp anglers. Take out the classification, and labeling is a big step to realize and recognize that we are all in for the same game at the end of the day, and that's all of us catching PBs." It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, hey, yep.
Say that one more time, Gil.
What'd you say, Gil? Yeah, gotcha. We're barely hearing you again.
You're cutting out, Gil.
I'm going to close this one out, but because I'm getting a low battery signal now.
Yeah, I was getting ready to
And
say
I
that
got
too. But hey, Gilbert, I definitely want to thank you for coming on to our show. Again, you are the godfather of carpers in my book.
You'll always have that label.
Here, especially here in Indiana. Again, and so well, you know, got so much knowledge behind you about carp fishing and what steps to take with the DNR. And the seminars that you used to do was amazing. But again, you got any shout outs or anything before we let you go?
No, not at all, guys. I'll tell you what, I really loved what I was doing tonight, and I really thank you so much for the time and then everything else. And from this old man to you, keep slack out.
All right. Appreciate you, brother.
Talk to you later, Gil, man. We appreciate you so much, man.
care.
I'm sure all these other carp anglers do too.
Thank you, Gil.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Yep. There we go. Wow.
He's
The
been,
GOAT!
Yeah, he's been doing this a very, very long time, man. You can't do nothing but really just want to listen to what he's saying because he's spitting and he's just talking about so much knowledge that it's going to be around for a long time. People's going to be talking about Gilbert long after he's gone. You know?
I mean, even him at we had him do a little small seminar over at the Carp Expo here in Indiana.
Yeah.
He was in his, his chair and all that kind of stuff.
And he was in front of World Classic Baits.
World Classic Bait, great display.
Yeah,
they had a great
good display.
All the trophies, and I'm sure half of them were probably of Gilbert's.
They probably was.
But
if not more, but I'm sure it was Rick and all of them too.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But
it was good to see him there, though.
It was, and it's always a pleasure just talking to Gilbert because he just got so much history.
Yeah.
Behind him. When I first met him was I believe it was at a sporting store. I don't want to say it's Dick. What's that old?
Cabela's?
Not Cabela's. Man, it's not the store's not there no more. It became Dick's after that.
I don't know.
Ah, man. It begins with a G. I can't remember. But anyway.
Gander Mountain?
Yes. Gander Mountain.
Yeah.
Yes. That's when I first met the whole Hoosier Carper gang. Back in the day, a guy named, his nickname was Bait Runner.
Somebody said it was Galleons.
Galleons.
It was Galleons and Gander Mountain, too.
Gander Mountain. I think.
But there was a place called Galleons, though, too.
It was actually Gander Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I was doing the Team Fish Fighters Westlake tournaments. I knew about the old Hoosier Carper tournament trail, and that's when I met Gilbert right there with Jim Dowland from Westside Bait and Tackle. I mean, it was so many legends there. Dale Anderson, Earl the Pearl, the Carpinator. I mean, it was just words just keep on going on and on of all the lake legends there.
You think the fish would bite in Westlake?
Yeah, and it's still biting. I mean, I ain't gonna do no more tournaments there.
No, I know that. I'm just saying about it. I mean, just think about how many tournaments you've held over the years.
A lot.
Think about all the fish that's been put in there too.
Yeah, a lot. But
he said, yeah.
But I mean, again, I got hooked. Just seeing all those classic anglers there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these people, and then going to these Hoosier Carper tournament trails, and watching Gilbert doing the whole seminars, and it's just everything. It just
brings back so many memories.
So many memories, and him talking. He was even on Team Fish Fighters for a little bit.
You know what's crazy? So I worked late this last Friday night, and I was working downtown, so I stopped at a little, on the way home, I stopped at this little bar because they got pizzas and subs in there and stuff. And guess who came up to me?
Who?
Jim's son.
Oh, no kidding.
Or maybe, yeah. Maybe.
He's 21?
Yeah.
No
he
kidding.
came up to me.
Mitch?
He was like,
wow.
He was like, man, how you been? I'm like, man, I ain't seen you in some years.
Mitch.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so
wow.
It was pretty good to see him.
That's crazy, man.
He said he still got all his fishing gear and everything. I told him, I said, you should hit my inbox
Get it
or
back
something.
out, man.
He said he ain't been fishing in a while.
Wow, that's crazy. But I mean, great show. Always, again, that was a pleasure to have Gilbert onto the show. But it's way overdue, dude.
Yeah, it is.
So,
but we appreciate everybody
yes.
tuning in, especially coming over to the YouTube channel, you know, and following and everything.
And
don't forget to share it to your Facebook page. We appreciate that too.
Yep. And
as soon as James gets out of jail.
Yeah. So thank you for all the sponsors for
appreciate everything all the sponsors do. All you guys back here. So we appreciate you guys.
I'm not gonna say like how Daniel Irish does. He does it all. That's fine. Yeah. But all right, guys. Thanks for watching the show. See you next week. Tight lines.
Tight lines and wet nets.
Yep. It.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was good. Little glasses.
Gilbert was doing it off his phone.
That's
why we couldn't hear.